सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमा अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ता वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject for the satsang is hidden truths about laws of life. If you don't understand laws of life, you will have loss of life. If you understand laws of life, naturally, life will not be lost to you. Sometimes life itself becomes a big loss when you don't understand the laws of life. Not only losing life, life, even living, becomes a big loss. Understand, losing life is something like a death or paralyzed. But you are living, but it's a big loss to your consciousness, means depressed, going in the wrong direction, without awareness. Then it's you are living, but the whole thing is loss. Life is a loss. If you are living and life is a loss, it is the most dangerous thing. That's what I call depression or going in wrong direction. Every day your life should be adding something more and more and leading you to the deeper and deeper truths and higher conscious levels. If that is not happening, you are losing life. If more and more clutches you are getting caught into, you are getting into the more and more deeper and deeper ruts, understand? Then you are going in minus. Let's enter into today's sutras. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. 81st Sutra in 2nd chapter, 30th verse. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, Yamaha. Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra as non-killing, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence and non-receiving are called Yama. Swami Prabhavananda translates as Yama is abstention from harming others, from falsehood, from theft, from incontinence and from greed. Swami Sachidananda translates as Yama consists of non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, continence and non-greed. First of all, I wanted to express an important truth about yama. The word is very powerful. In Sanskrit, it has so many meanings. One, the flow. Another one, the law. Third one, the very force which makes the whole thing flow as per the law. I wanted all of you to understand an important truth. Please understand. Law and the force which makes the whole thing to flow in law are one and the same. Judiciary and execution and law enforcement, everything is one and the same in cosmos. When all these things become separate, that is where the corruption comes. That is why all country laws suffer. Cosmic law never suffers and it never creates suffering. I was doing some research 2-3 days before. Came upon with an important, very beautiful research which clearly proves you do not act because of your mental setups or beliefs. Please understand. Very clearly they are proving with tons and tons of evidence. You do not act in certain way just because of your mental setup or habit or even your beliefs. They say, you just do not know why you act that way. Just micro milliseconds before the action, the decision is taken and it is executed. After that, you go on sitting and doing postmortem. Otherwise, the decision to act and act, please understand, decision to act and acting, action, both simultaneously just happens in your system without any logical background, without any logical understanding, without any logic behind it. That is why in the Vedic tradition, we always give importance to altering the consciousness, the very source from which law and action erupts out spontaneously. If you believe only in action, means the body, there is nothing beyond body, you go on trying to alter your actions and end in deepest failure and depression. That is why all the morality imposed on the society, community, individuals who are not consciously grown leads more and more to depression and schizophrenic conditions. First thing we need to do is conscious awakening. Pratyagatma Chaitanya Jagrata. The individual inner awakening has to happen. Then Simply the decision maker and executor will be in a pure consciousness. The person who is making decision in you and acting in you will be in pure consciousness. No danger from your actions can come to you or to others. Please understand. Yama in Sanskrit language is not just law. One meaning of the word yama is law. The other meaning is the energy which executes the law. So in Sanskrit, the very word yama clearly expresses the very concept of what our master's understanding, the original truth. Law and execution are not two different energies. As long as you think that is two different energies, you will have a constant conflict. That is why I say, yama should happen, not to be practiced. Whoever is trying to practice without raising their awareness are in difficulty. I am telling you. Struggle, and if your struggle is too strong, depression. If it is really strong, schizophrenia. That's all. These are the solutions. If you understand the word the yama, all of you know that yama means the lord of death, means lord of law, who executes all the law and the flow. You need to have the clear understanding about the ultimate truths, that human beings are beyond body and based in consciousness. If you don't have that ultimate understanding, you will always understand law and execution as two separate things. Because as far as body is concerned, it is law. It's like, if you think you are only body, you will understand the word yama as law. Because you do not understand there is a space which is responsible for law and execution. Only if you understand there is a space which is responsible for law and execution simultaneously, you will be able to understand this word in a broader and deeper understanding. Otherwise, if you understand the word yama as just a law, it is very mediocre understanding and mediocre translation. You need to understand the Sanskrit word yama, not just law and the execution power. And this research which I was studying very clearly proves you do not act just because of your habits or your beliefs or because of your earlier decisions. No. There is no logic. Just the decision and action happens without any gap, not even micro-millisecond gap, spontaneously in you, and you just do it. It happens. Means The consciousness is responsible for your every action. Even though he is not directly involved, he is responsible for your every action. Because your body and mind is in so much love with the consciousness. Understand? Not in control of the consciousness. It's a wrong understanding. Your body and mind is in so much love with the consciousness. Even though he is not directly involved in any action, but he becomes responsible for all your actions. If you think, your body and mind is controlled by the consciousness. That is why consciousness is responsible for all your actions. You are fear-based person. If you think your body and mind is completely in love with the consciousness because of the charisma, energy, the enchanting power the consciousness radiates. That is why you just do whatever consciousness wants, even though consciousness is not directly involving. If you have this understanding, you are a spiritual being. The ultimate truth is your action and the decision to do that action happen spontaneously without even micro-millisecond gap in you and gets executed. After that, you can do post-mortem, either justify or feel guilty, whatever you want to do, you can. But the truth is, both are one and the same. It just expresses spontaneously. Understand? There are some mediocre minds which can go on repeating the same syllabus, same subject for any number of times. I have seen there are some gurus, the same set of class and programs they will conduct any number of times. But they can't come up with some new understandings and truths every day. Mediocre, same kriya, blowing nose, same set of ideas, go on teaching for any number of years. It is easy for them. Mediocre mind. There are some masters who can break the logic every day, blow off the mind, shake the people. Every day which comes out of them is one big step towards higher consciousness, one big lift towards higher consciousness. But the problem is they will not be able to do the same set of classes and programs. There are some rare individuals who can play both games, where he can take off and break the mind and logic, boil the whole being with every satsang, with every time when he opens the mouth, you drop your mouth. Something new. You always think, oh, he cannot take us further, deeper, further, higher. But you are there. Next day again, one step higher, one grade higher. The same way, tremendous patience to take people through the same set of programs. People ask me many times, how do you manage that both drama? One side, every day something new. The other side, the same set of programs without feeling tired or bored. Because the mind which continuously reveals new great things will feel bored to conduct the same type of programs. The mind which conducts the same type of programs, monotonous, set, will not have the ability to open and share new expressions and explosive things. How do you manage these two, Swamiji? Many people ask me. Understand, when I share great truths, revelations, new, higher level truths, raising you every day higher and higher level in the morning satsang, I am myself. Just I am radiating, raising you continuously, raising the whole human consciousness continuously. When I conduct the program, again, I am very clear, the program is same for me, but not for you. People who are sitting in front of me are completely new group, new batch, new people. So there I am doing it for you. So when I am very clear I am doing it for you, I just see every session opening your being and you raising. Morning satsang, I am expressing how I am raising. When I say I am raising, I mean the enlightenment is ultimate but not final. The ultimate every day exploding on human consciousness. That is what is morning satsang. Creating the yen effect verbally and physically on the human consciousness is morning satsang. And the classes are creating the same yen effect on a small group. So there I am more centered on you. So every person after every session raises. So naturally it is not same for me again. But if you don't know the person is raising, if you are not that conscious, then the program will be monotonous, same, boring, dull. But your mediocre mind, if your mind settles with that, after 2-3 years you will stop feeling bored. Like a parrot you will repeat, please close your nose, blow it 8 times, raise your hand and blow it 7 times. You will become a tape recorder. And very easy to pick up any one technique, one kriya, one yoga and popularize it. Because it's almost like a selling, marketing. There are some international MNCs, the multinational companies. Go to any of their retail store, ask about a product, exact words they will repeat. Programmed, trained. I tell you, I am not interested in just producing some set of teachers who will go and sit and repeat the same type of program and come back. No. I am actually working on creating the acharyas who can sit and conduct satsangs, means every day something new they will be opening up and revealing. Understand? People ask me, Swamiji, somehow we are not able to produce large number of teachers because neither me nor our Sangha is mediocre. Only mediocre people can produce mass number of teachers because it is frozen. By heart, repeat, come and vomit. Still we are not able to freeze even our first level program LBP because every day I am developing last 10 years. I feel no, something more can be given. Something more can be said. Because we understand the law and power which executes the law, both are same from the superconscious state, expressing itself simultaneously and spontaneously. Understanding about Yama, as I shared now, will completely change your understanding about how to live those great truths described as Yama. I'll explain the deeper truths explained in the sutra, expressed in the sutra. Ahimsa satya asteya brahmacharya parigraha. In a deeper way, the next satsangs. I have one more story for you. An older couple had a son who was still living with his parents. The parents were a little worried as the son was still unable to decide about his future career. They decided to do a small test. They took a $10 bill, a Bible, and bottle of whiskey and put them on the front hall table and hid, pretending they are not home. The father's plan was, if our son takes the money, he will be a businessman. If he takes the Bible, he will be a priest. But if he takes the whiskey bottle, I am afraid our son will become a drunkard. So the parents waited nervously, hiding in nearly closet. The son arrived and he saw the note in the table. Then he took the $10 bill, looked at it and slid it in his packet. After that, he took the Bible and flicked through it and took it. Then he grabbed the bottle, opened it and took a whiff to get assured of the quality. Then he left his room, carrying all 3 items. The father slapped his forehead and said, "Our son is going to be a politician." As long as you think the law and execution power are too different, you are in an ignorant society. You will be creating an ignorant system. Get back to Manu's understanding about human consciousness. First thing needs to be done first. Human beings need to experience higher state of consciousness. Then law and order will be in order. I bless you all. Let you all achieve, experience, live and radiate the eternal bliss. Nityananda. Thank you.